What's up, everybody? It is Andrew here with Draft Thunder, and I'm here to break down the Friday slate of preseason week 2. So I'm going to jump right into it. This week I tried something a little different. I have a little slideshow. Each play is 30 seconds long, so I'm going to start right off. We're going to get through this super quick. And basically, this will be a way for you guys to see the plays and be able to go through quickly if you don't want to watch the whole video of me explaining, but each explanation is only be 30 seconds, so I'm trying to get all the plays out there so you can optimize your best lineup. I'm not going to show any bias who my best plays are, or who I think they are, because that could make it go awry. If I pick Josh Allen to be the best quarterback and then Blaine Gabbert is, that could affect your lineup. So really, I want you to hear the analysis, make decisions on your own, and I hope this works out well. So let's start right at it. The first quarterback is Josh Allen, who is facing the Panthers. He basically got 11 passes last week, pass attempts, and he has a rushing yard upside. So I think he's a really good play here. I expect him to go a little deeper into the game, maybe a half or so. And really, he is, in my opinion, just an athletic player, so he has a good capability of getting points on both, again, the passing side and the rushing side. He has a lot of good options out there. A lot of good receivers that we have down here, like McKenzie, and we'll look into that. And our quarterback is Josh Rosen. He is in Miami fighting for the starting spot. So he got traded from the Cardinals, as we all know. He saw a little bit of action last week after Fitzpatrick, who's now the starter. But Josh Rosen's going to be fighting for that spot. He's going to have to show out in one of these games. I expect this to be the game to where he steps up to the plate and really shows what he has. So I expect them to give him a good opportunity here, less than Fitzpatrick. So I expect him to get also about a half of play, maybe second and third quarter. So we'll see how that goes. Blaine Gabbert for the Bucks is the guy behind Jameis Winston. There is Ryan Griffin behind Blaine Gabbert, but I know Blaine Gabbert had a good week last week. He ended up being one of the best plays on whatever slate he was on. He's got some good receivers to throw at. And basically, he is kind of like a lower tier guy that we've seen in the past. He's not exactly like the best quarterback, but with the volume that he should get in this game, about another half of play, we should see a lot of good things out of him. I think that those are the three best quarterbacks that I see. Another guy to consider might be Will Grier in there, but he's also a reason why I'm going to pick the Bills defense, which we'll see later. Running backs, let's move on. First off, David Montgomery. We saw him have a big week last week. He's a young guy for the Bears, and I think they drafted him in the third round, but they expect to see a lot out of him. Right now, they're considering starting him over Tariq Cohen. I think Tariq Cohen will keep his position as the passing back with Jordan Howard, how he was, and they want to see what Montgomery has, so I expect him to get about a quarter or a half. I also expect him to build off his game last game and really show out here. Hopefully get in the end zone, get a few catches. Moving on, Devin Singletary for the Bills. He is a guy behind LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore. Frank Gore is old, up in age. They know what he has. They're not going to show too much out of him. LaShawn McCoy, they're going to have start the game, only do, in my opinion, a few reps, maybe do a drive or two. But Singletary should get most of the line share right here in this game. And really, he's just a good player. He has pretty good passing upside, so good part in the passing game. Moving on, Jordan Scarlett. He's running back for the Panthers. He is a guy who has been injured. Last game we saw Elijah Holyfield. But this game, I expect since they already saw Holyfield, they're going to want to see what they have in Jordan Scarlett because they want to see who's behind McCaffrey, Artis Payne. They need that next guy to probably be the guy that's going to be the third back. So I expect to see a lot of Scarlett in this game to get a lot of work, a lot of looks his way. The coaches are going to want to see what he has. A lot of dump offs from Will Grier. Good play there. Kalen Ballage, he is the guy for the Dolphins who is now going to be the guy. So I expect him to see reps with both the first and second team, meaning Fitzpatrick and Rosen, because they're going to want to see their connection with him, with Kenny and Drake now sidelined for a little while. He's basically going to be the starter. I expect him to get a decent run here, and he is pretty athletic. He makes some plays. I just think that with all that combined, he will be a good play. Paul Perkins, running back for the Giants. He's obviously behind Saquon and Gallman. So he's a guy who's around the third or fourth string running back, fighting for that bubble spot probably. A guy who's on the roster last year, didn't show out too much. But I think he should get a good look here at some decent playing time. With that playing time, I know he dropped his one pass last week, one or two passes, whatever he got. But he does have some catch capability, and he's good around the goal line. So if I could see him getting a workload throughout the season, it would be him around the goal line being used to pound in the ball. Moving on to wide receivers, we have Isaiah McKenzie for the Bills. So I basically have two Bills plays here. It is McKenzie and Robert Foster, who's going to pop up next. So I'm just going to go over both of them. McKenzie is the guy who saw some action last week, pretty good. They are both just young guys on the team. I think McKenzie, this might be his second year, Foster, second or third year. So they kind of want to see what they have out of them. They're on the maybe fourth or fifth receiving spot behind like Zay Jones and some other guys they brought in. I believe they brought in Cole Beasley, and there's one other pretty experienced guy. But yeah, Robert Foster's their guy, as I said. They both have great speed. I think they use them on end arounds. So if they get used in the flat, they're really good if they do little drag routes, but then they can also do fly routes. Josh Allen's guy Cannon. So if they're in a starting rotation for receivers, and I expect Josh Allen to go for a little while, so they should be able to come in and show what they have and possibly catch a deep ball. So I'm going to mix them in and out of lineups. I probably won't use them in the same lineup unless I do like a stack with Josh Allen. TJ Jones is a receiver for the Giants. He is one of the guys who got brought in from Detroit. He had a pretty good week last week, and I really think that he is going to be one of the guys who's going to fight for a roster spot on this team and do pretty well. It is an injury-prone team, as you can see. Sterling Shepard is hurt. Odell's gone. Some more people are hurt. So really, they're gonna have to see T.J. Jones a lot, and he's gonna be working with Daniel Jones and Eli throughout this game. Preston Williams for the Dolphins is also very good play this week. He's a receiver who went off last week. I can't remember how many yards. I think he got like 70-some, I think 90-some actually. So he really showed what he has. He should be moving up the depth chart, be seeing more reps with the higher teams, and then he'll be going deeper into this game about the same way he did last week. So I expect to see at least a half out of him and a lot of targets going his way because they definitely want to show him off. Chris Godwin is a guy who saw more work last week than I thought he was going to. I expected a lot out of Justin Watson. Sorry, I said James Watson last week too, I think. But Chris Godwin is a guy who saw a lot of reps. He's just a really good receiver. He made some great catches. He saw 2 targets in the red zone, and he should have had 2 touchdowns. He only got 1, but I could expect to see him get another touchdown in this game. And he's also pretty high flyer. Like, he can catch a deep ball and run with it. So he's the guy I'm looking at. Moving on, Aldrick Robinson used to play for the 49ers, who you see in this picture. He's now playing for the Panthers. He is around the 5th or 6th spot on the depth chart, so he's on the back end of that receiving team. He saw a lot of action in the first half, so I expect him to still see that action in the first half with the starters, maybe a little bit with Cam, probably not as much, but then because Cam I think is starting this game, and then going into probably the late half, third quarter, and he's just a fast, athletic guy. Javon Wims, sweetheart from the Bears roster last year, saved some lineups last year when I played him. He's a guy who they now have some experience under his belt. A year he made the team last year, and he is a guy who can make plays. I expect to see him in the whole first half. And basically, he's just a guy who is around that 4th, 5th spot. If you can see a trend, those are 4th to 7th spot are the receiving spots that we're looking at here. And he should be able to see a lot of time. So that was weird. But tight ends, we're going to move on. Jason Kroom for the Bills. He is a guy, I think Charles Clay is gone. I'm not 100% sure. But Jason Kroom should see a lot of action in this game. He's a guy who we actually played in the preseason last year, who I believe is in our video of failed plays. But he ends up making the team. He ended up making a little bit of waves on the roster. They needed tight end to step up. And last year they had O'Leary, who was a blocking tight end who didn't do all that. They need Kroom. They need a passing tight end who can make some plays. Chris Manhunt had a pretty good game last game for the Panthers. He's a young guy on the roster, and he will be behind Greg Olsen. And there's another Ian on the team. I can't remember his last name, but basically he's the third tight end. He will be the guy who will be seeing the lion's share of tight end plays in this game. He is a receiving tight end, kind of like Ed Dixon, but hopefully with better hands. And knowing from being a Ravens fan, Ed Dixon was not the best. So Manhunt should see a lot of action. Ian Bunting is a great play also, I believe. So last week he got somewhere like 70 yards on like 3 or 4 catches. And he started the game for the Bears, surprisingly. I think they're being pretty safe with Trey Burton after an injury. And, or Trey Burton, whoever their tight end is. I think it's Trey Burton. Anyway. So he should be seeing a lot of action. He's very athletic. He can make some nice catches. I expect him to get at least a half of play here, hopefully starting, and he will hopefully get in the end zone for us, but I think he'll have another similar game for 3 to 5 catches, like 50 to 100 yards, somewhere around that range, because the Bears like to use their tight ends. So I think that those are my 3 tight ends. Those are all the receiver, running back, and quarterback plays that I have. Mix and match those around lineups. I'm going to talk about the one defense that I have real quick, and that is the Bills. Like I said a little bit earlier in the video, going against the Panthers. Cam's just coming off that shoulder rehab. He's got a new form. I don't know how well he's going to come out early, so he might throw a pick 6, something like that, which would be exciting. They probably don't want him to run too much, so he will probably stay in the pocket, might get sacked, but he might also be throwing it away early. So I don't expect to see a lot out of him, and then Will Grier coming in. Will Grier had a sloppy first game. The Bills defense is a tough matchup for him. I think it was the Bears defense last week. So 2 tough defenses. I don't expect to see him do too well. I expect the Bills pass rush to get to him. I think they're the best play this week. And I really don't see me throwing into many other defenses. I usually have been doing one defense and hitting it, and then when I throw in other ones, it kind of doesn't work out. Like yesterday I played the Eagles, that was pretty good. And then I threw in some other ones, the Ravens. I wish I threw in the Bengals, which I thought about, but it's okay. I'm pretty happy with how we've been doing, and I hope that you watch this video and got some plays that will help you win some lineups. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you think about this format of the video. I'm just trying to mix things up, get as much content out there as possible. Ben did half these plays, I just want you to know. So he's been doing the research. I'm just kind of the person who helps make the video, so it's hard for him to do solo videos, but he's going to try to in the near future when we can't get together. But please follow us on Twitter at DraftThunderDFS, and make sure to DM us and let us know what you think. Send us your lineups if you win, and we hope that we have a good Friday slate and that everyone can win some money. So thank you so much, and good luck.